Hi, welcome to the workshop, Monday the 18th of March. News dominated this morning by news out of Cyprus regarding the tax, which is effectively on all depositors, even down to the smallest ones, anywhere between 6.75% and 9.9%, which is an attempt by the Cypriot government to facilitate a rescue that they've been negotiating. Very negative effects. I think the markets have recovered a little bit since the opening on the belief that the effect might be sort of targeted more on the larger depositors. Nevertheless, it contravenes the deposit insurance protection that is common across Europe. And I think it sets a very, very dangerous precedent that could lead to a bit of contagion. Anyway, that's the dominant theme for now. Let's have a look at the calendar for this week. Most of it, notwithstanding the news in Cyprus, was going to be focused on German surveys and also the budget to be presented in the UK on Wednesday at 12:30. So let's have a look at the data. We got our inflation data in the UK at 9:30. We're looking for an uptick in that due to the inflationary pressures following a fall in sterling. Certainly fuel will be leading to a slight increase there from 2.7 to maybe 2.8, 2.9. We have building permits in the US on Tuesday as well. We also have the first of our surveys in Germany, the ZEW Economic Sentiment Indicator. That's a survey of institutional investors and analysts. Anything above 0 is positive, so we're nicely in positive territory there, or optimism abounds for now. We then jump to Wednesday. We have before we actually have the budget, we've got the MPC minutes, which will be quite important just to see exactly how the voting has gone with regards to the quantitative easing from the last meeting. Feeling is that it'll be closer now, and obviously the likelihood is that if it's close for the last meeting, then it's likely that we will get quantitative easing, some sort of announcement in the next meeting, which will be negative for sterling again. Then we have the budget at 12:30. Chancellor's in a bit of a cleft stick on this one. I think he's nailed his colours to the mast quite clearly. He is unlikely to be able to engage in any significant spending, which will pretty much negate all his promises to date. So I think it's just going to be tinkering around the edges. Obviously, if there are any significant announcements, it could really undermine sterling and the gilt market. So, but I don't expect too much there, although it is needed, of course, but that's politics for you. We then have the Federal Reserve's meeting, the FOMC, the Rate Setting Committee. That's announced at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. We're not expecting any particular news, certainly not expected to start tightening their monetary policy yet, although there's been a lot of chatter about that. But there is going to be, it may be that they may start discussing in the press conference an exit strategy for this asset purchase program. So, yeah, Wednesday, very important at 6 o'clock. And then we have on Thursday, flash manufacturing in China. This comes from HSBC, so probably has a little more weight than the official stats from the Chinese government. So we could wake up on a more positive frame on Thursday morning. Then we have the manufacturing and services, the prelim data. And it's interesting to note how it compares quite poorly with the US. Both the prelim manufacturing PMI and services PMI, both below 50, both in contraction mode, as it were. So although we are seeing a modest improvement, it's still below 50. Following that, unemployment claims continuing the positive momentum over the last month as employment picks up in the States. Then we have existing home sales at 2 o'clock, followed by the most important manufacturing piece of data in the month, the Philadelphia Federal District, a very large sort of manufacturing base. So that'll be followed quite closely, an improvement there from minus 12.5 to minus 3.1. And then finally, for the week on Friday, we have the second survey, a very broad survey, the German IFO Business Climate Index, a big leading indicator for the German economy, expected to maintain the progress made from last month. 107.8 is the expectation there. As I said, a lot dominated by the events in Cyprus over the weekend. Could see a certain amount of turbulence throughout the day, depending on what is announced from the Cypriot government. It has, I think it could be particularly bad for the markets if they don't resolve it soon. Okay, thanks very much for listening. We reconvene on Thursday.